Okay, so you have your folder here in workspace and you want to create a level for Roblox Defense Force. So let's see every element we have here. Okay, the first one is those folder configuration. You have inside that two elements, one called nombre, one called desk. The first one, nombre, you can click here on value to change the name of the level you are going to create. The second one is practically the same thing. You can click here on value and write a little description of your level. Usually 20 to 30 words is okay. Next one we have inicio. This part you can click here to move it. This part is the place where the players will be spawned when the game starts and when they are killed and respawn their character. You just need to move it where you want it to be. Then we have the folder Mapa. This folder is just a container for the map of the level you are going to do. It can hold models, it can hold parts, and anything you want to do can be stored here. Just a pair of things. The less loose non-anchored part you store here, the better, because the game lags and the server suffer when you have a lot of things that are not anchored. The other thing to know is that a good size of your map is between 300 and 600 pixels, or studs, how it's called here on Roblox. What I usually do is that I just create a port and I put the size. This time we have 500 for 500, and then I build on top of that. Lastly, we have Ordas. Ordas is the most important folder and the most hard to master. On this folder we will hold all the creatures and enemies that appears in our level. Enemies are grouped inside subfolders called by number. What we will do is to create a series of folders to spawn those enemies. So, for example, if I want two groups of enemies, a group of ants and a group of metallic ants, then we will create two folders here, one called 1 and one called 2. On one folder we have a part, name part, that will be the spawn point of the group, just with inicio, where the players spawn. Well, part is where the monsters spawn. Okay, this part also in inicio, you usually want it to be non-collidable because you only need the position, and anchored to avoid the part falling down and monsters spawning on other places. More things we have inside a group, monster group folder. We have another subfolder called configuration, where we have a bunch of things. Folder damages, you can just ignore it. It's something used by the game. The attribute cantidad is where you put the number of monsters you want to be on this group. If you want your group of ants to have 20 ants, then you can put here a 20. Then we have the value monstruo. Monstruo is a string value, is a text where we have to put the name of the monster we are to add it on this group. It can be ant, it can be metallic ant, etc. It's important to and to not forget the caps and the spaces. Okay. Then we have T comienzo. This attribute controls how much time the game waits before spawning this group. So if we put here a 60, for example, the game will wait a full minute before starting spawning the monsters of this group. And then we have T-spawn. T-spawn. On this attribute we put how much time it passes between a monster spawn and the next. For example, we have ants on this group of monsters. They will be spawned here, and we will spawn 5 ants. They will start spawning just when the game starts, and we want to spawn 1 ant every 10 seconds or every 15 seconds. Okay, so just now we have a group of 5 ants that spawn all at the same time, and just when the game starts, and they will spawn here. Now we will create another group. Let's duplicate it and move it. Another group. We have to change the name to the next number 2. They will spawn here on part, and we want to spawn for example metallic ants. We want to spawn 10 of them. We want to spawn them when for example a full 2 minutes has passed since the game started, and we want to spawn 1 metallic ant every 5 seconds. That will be. And the last, we have to create a file to send it to the devs so we can add it to the game. So we right click on level template folder. We have to choose save on a file, and the place where we want to save it, we have to put a name and then click on save. You created a file with that, send a file to me, and I will add it to the game when I can. See ya!